Well, I finally found a flaw with this house. All right, well, I messed up. There is no place to put a broom. So Miss Jana has asked me to find her an area to put a broom closet. And we went back and looked at all the videos, and what we came up with was this area right here. Now this is a chase that runs from the basement up above, and you see that thermostat there? Well, we also have the air filter right there, but I know that we have an open void here enough to go back probably 6 to 8 inches. I'm gonna build a recessed alcove, and we have some doors that match our cabinets, so we're gonna use those, and then we'll have Jana's broom closet. All right guys, well Jana just called me a pig. She said that me calling this Jana's broom closet is sexist. So this will be our broom closet. But the first thing that I need to do, I know that we've got a 1/2 inch of sheetrock, and then 3.5 of a stud, and then another stud on its side, which is another 1.5 inches. So I've measured out, I've got a little mark here to tell me where approximately that is. I think I've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 11 inches in there, which is just enough for a broom to hang nicely, a dry mop kit, maybe a Swiffer, and some dusting stuff. So it should be plenty for some cleaning storage, and then at the bottom we should be able to hang our or have maybe some floor cleaner or whatever in there. But it'll be nice tucked away, it'll look really good. I'm thinking that we're gonna have somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.5 to 6 feet. Plenty of room. If it's deep enough, I might end up, if I can go back a little deeper, it might give me enough room to hang a vacuum in there. But let's cut a hole and find out, see what happens. Y'all can see that that is the return, so I can only go from this stud to this stud. I still have a little bit more. It's not a lot of space in there, so let's measure our broom and see if the broom's even going to fit in between there. All right, so it looks like we got right at 11 inches in there. This broom, now keep in mind we're going to have a 1/2 inch board on either side, which is 10 inches. This broom is barely going to fit. Might have to push those little bristles down. It's not going to be much of a broom closet, but it'll hold a broom. Okay, so here are 2 doors that match our cabinets here. So what we have to do is make sure that the box frame that I build is within that amount, within that length. So total length of this is 65 3/4. I want to have some overlap. I think it'll be probably best at around 62 inches. All right, so what I've decided to do is make the cabinet frame 62 inches rough, the rough end. I've got 1/2 inch board that I'm using, so I'm actually going to cut the verticals at 61 on each left and right side, and then the top and the bottom will be cut at 11. So this is a real simple project. And then I'm going to take a piece of 1/4 inch plywood, and I'll tack it to the back of it. Pretty simple. Then I'm going to put it up, trace it, cut out everything, but let me get started cutting on this. Basically, we're laying it out. I'll put a piece of glue on the back of that. It'll help to stabilize it, but right now I'm gonna use my brad nailer. We're gonna tack everything together, and this should go pretty quickly. A simple box. Okay, cool. Let's get it inside, trace it on the wall, and cut that out and see if we can get it installed. Okay, here's our test hole where the HVAC is running down that chase. We got plenty of room in there. So essentially, here's our box. We were going to cut it to fit and slide it in. So my next thing is to determine the exact height, trace around it, and then start cutting the sheetrock. Okay guys, I just realized something. I need a support piece on the inside of this because I'm gonna install some press clamps that will hold the broom and the mop handle in place. One thing that you need to do, especially with something so narrow with not a lot of space, kind of have to go ahead and plan where you're gonna put things. I got an idea of where this is going to go. I'm going to put the brace in its spot, and then glue it and nail it, and we should be good to go. Guys, I told you it was an easy job, but it is a far from a clean job. It is a very messy job. As you can see, I made a mess, but good thing about it, the hole's cut. You can see what's behind there. It's the HVAC ducting going up through the channel. We have plenty of room to slide everything in, so we're going to test fit it now. Okay guys, you can see that it is a very snug fit. All this will get covered by a little lattice trim, and I'm going to knock that out in a little bit. But a very simple little project. It was very tight to get it in there. I probably should have given myself a little bit more room, but we got it taken care of. Let's get that lattice on. Okay Okay guys, so this is the lattice trim that we're going to use. It's really a low profile, which is what I'm wanting because we're going to be using the overlay doors from the cabinets. I've made a mark here. We're going to use the 1/4 round cutters. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those. It's a perfect tool for the job. You just got to have strong forearms and basically some pressure and it cuts it right off. Then we'll use the brad nailer and get that installed. Okay guys, I went ahead and put the trim on there, top, bottom, and around the sides. You may have noticed I did not anchor anything on the inside, the main structural part of it, because I still have a little bit of adjustment here to pull it in and out. I just wanted to make sure that everything was lined up with the sheetrock flush. So I am now going to anchor in, I think I'm going to do 3 on each side, and then it's just a matter of caulking and painting, which that's Jana's job. I'll let her do that, and then I'm going to hang the doors on the front of it. So simple project. I've had about an hour and 15 minutes in it so far. Probably a 3-hour project for me. So anyway, here we go. These little guys are pretty neat. They've got a little rubber gripper in here like that. The post just goes like that. So you have the holes you have to access behind this rubber plate. You just pop that little pin out, which is pretty easy to do. Slide that rubber plate to the side and you have access to the holes in there. Pretty ingenious. So I'm pretty happy with this setup. I mean, it's not a difficult project if you have a void like this. I mean, I made it a little deeper than I needed to, and I'm glad I did because like I was looking at this little dustpan. I have room to set the little dustpan in there. Actually, what I may do is make a maybe a hook on the back of the door so when it closes, you know, it's in here, and then for cleaning, we could just leave the little cleaners in the bottom. So actually, it's a very efficient little built-in closet. Let's wait for those hinges. I need something with a big offset. I found one. Hopefully, it works, and we'll do that next. All right, well, it's been a couple days since we started this project, and I've gone through several different hinge varieties. My dog is after me to play with him today, and upset that I am filming instead of tossing a ball. Come on, pup. So, Tink and I are going to try to accomplish this task, but we're going to have to do a couple custom things to it because these hinges are designed to fit on the edge of a cabinet, and Tink doesn't have the edge of a cabinet. We have a box. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Do you see the little tabs right here that are sticking off? Okay, well those are designed to go over the lip of a cabinet. Because we have a straight box, those don't allow it to sit flush. So it's pretty simple, because all we have to do is take some needle nose, whether they be vice grip needle nose or regular, and we can mount them. Just take a grip of them like this and rock it back and forth. It's easy enough to pop those things off. And then I'll just complete this for the rest of those hinges, and it should mount flush. It came out pretty clean, came out pretty flush. So now it'll sit in there exactly what I needed. I'm gonna have to take a measurement since I'm doing a 2-door split. I need to make sure I have spacing in there for the handles, and that they're proportionate upward and down so everything looks symmetrical. So let's get started on that. All right, well, we got the first day up the door operational. These are soft close hinges, which I love. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and set this handle at the right depth to match the rest of the cabinets. And then I'm gonna probably make a little spacer just to give me a little bit of clearance. I don't want the handles to be rubbing together. So once we get this on, I'm not gonna mount the lower handle yet, because I want to make sure that everything's lined up before I commit to it. Yeah, let's get started on this. Sometimes getting these started can be a little tricky. There we go. Perfect. Okay, this next one may be a little bit tricky because I'm going to have a little bit of play and adjustment in those hinges, but I still want to space it properly. So I've got a little cardboard spacer in there, just so they're not dragging each other. And then we'll grab the other door, set it on top of this door, which is not necessarily the conventional way of doing it, but it's the way I'm doing it. And then I'll get all these hinges lined up properly, and we'll put the first screw in. That's holding the support there, and then I'll work on the top one. Making sure that these stay nice and flush against the inside of the cabinet. Awesome, now I can let go. Hit this middle hinge here. Now I've centered all the screws, so if there is an adjustment needed, I can do it. Doesn't look like there's going to be much of an adjustment needed. I need to shift this hinge over just a little bit. Okay, it looks like I got that centered now. And we're going to start this. Make sure the hinge is lined up perfect. Great. Perfect. All right, let's pull this little spacer out. The hinges aren't touching. Let's see, the doors are gonna soft close nicely. Hopefully everything plays together the way I want it to. Wow, very, very little adjustments needed. I think this top one may need to come down just a little bit to get it all lined up, but far as I'm concerned, that's awesome. Let's put the brooms and mops and everything in there and just see how it closes. Well, it looks like everything's fitting just fine. I hope you enjoyed this project, and we will see you guys soon.